Okay, so happy rainy afternoon to everybody. It is a beautiful day to gather right together and be a little nice and cozy and do some nice gentle yoga. We're going to have a very sweet, gentle practice today. It's my buddy Jen Dorsey's birthday, so everybody send her extra birthday love during the practice, please. Is anybody else's birthday? Anybody else coming up? No? All right, extra love to Miss Jen today. So close your eyes, settle in, let yourself become very present. And give yourself permission to be so gentle with yourself this morning or this afternoon, to really receive the energy of gentleness. It's been a pretty hectic time in our world, and just doing the things that we ordinarily do is a little challenging these days, a little different. So I've really been trying to get into the practice of allowing myself the energy of gentleness whenever I can. So just be gentle, let your breath be gentle, but be very present and very aware of what's going on right now in the room that you're in the body that you're in the mind that hangs out in this body that you're in. Just notice everything. And then notice who's watching all of that, the witness inside of you, the truth of who you are. Just sit and breathe and let all that go on as you relax into this moment. So gentleness and joy. Right? Thinking about the word joy right now, for some of us, it might feel really difficult to tap into the energy of joy. It might even there might even be an issue, a sense of guilt that comes up, right? Like, how can we be joyful now with all that's going on in the world with, so much upheaval and so much chaos and so much suffering? And I think really the answer to that is, how can we not? Right? We really need to tap into the energy of what the world needs now. I'm going to read something from this book. It's been my go-to book ever since Jackie gave it to me. It's by Cleo Wade, called Heart Talk. And the reading is called Have Joy. Oftentimes, when the world feels chaotic, we begin to feel as if it's somehow inappropriate to have joy. Have your joy, and that's underlined, have your joy. Joy is a form of radical self-care. Joy energizes us to take on even the most difficult circumstances. When we have joy, especially in the midst of challenging times, we're saying to the world, I will define the current state of the world around me instead of allowing it to define me. So today, regardless of what is happening, empower yourself by embracing your joy. Empower yourself. Think about that. Abraham Hicks, there's a quote. It says something along the lines of, you can't get poor enough to help poor people thrive or sick enough to help sick people get well, that you can only ever uplift anyone from your own place of strength and clarity and alignment. So if we want to see a joyful world, if we want to see an easeful world, a gentle world, then if we can move into that energy in ourselves here now, in the midst of everything that's going on, that's the energy will be flowing. That is the anchor that we'll be putting out there for others to be able to reach for. The more that we laugh, laughter is contagious. And the more that we express our joy, the more others will begin to step into theirs. And there's always something to be joyful about, something to be grateful for. Even when you think about it, when people die, when we have our memorials and our repasts and our wakes and whatever we have, people will sit and gather and they'll talk. And in the midst of the tears, there's funny stories and there's beautiful memories, and we laugh and we cry at the same time. And there's something about that laughter. It's like, it's the greatest memorial, I believe, to someone, to be able to think of them, even after they're not here in physical form anymore, and to smile, to laugh. So what can you connect to? What kind of energy can you connect to today? On this gray, rainy day, in the midst of COVID and all of this craziness going on in our world, what can you connect to today to flow into the world what you'd like to see more of? Take a few more breaths with your eyes closed. And then let your hands float together, palms at your heart. We'll open with Om Namo, Gurudev Namo, calling upon that brilliant wisdom inside to lead the way. Deep inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Just pause and feel. Let the energy move you, clear you. Feel the breath moving through you. And then moving forward into our next chant, Ad Gare Name. If you're not familiar with it, we do it as a celestial communication chant. Ad Gare Name at the heart. Jugad Gare Name, third eye. Sat Gare Name, opening up your heart. And then Siri Guru Deve Name, bringing that energy of the universe back into your own heart. All right, so 3 times. Ad Gare Name. Jugad Gure Name. Sad Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. Jugad Gure Name. Sad Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. Jugad Gure Name. Sad Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Pause, feel, notice. See if you can feel the vibrational energy that has resulted in vibrating that chant out into the universe. See if you can feel the universal supply vibrating inside of you. Take a deep breath in, prayer overhead, squeeze the pelvic floor, navel center, everything squeezes up. Hold that breath. And then as you do exhale, let your body relax, your arms come out wide, moving through your own work field. And connecting your fingers to the earth, acknowledging The beautiful energetic connection that we have to the earth all the time. And then opening your eyes. Marge, is it okay to spotlight you? If it's not, it's okay. Good? Okay, thank you. Forgot to ask before. All right, so we are going to begin our practice, a nice gentle practice today. Some good self-care. Sit nice and comfortably. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Take your right hand, place it on the left side of your head. It's going to reach over you up, and then the left arm comes down to the floor next to you. And begin to just gently stretch your neck over to the right. Nice, long, deep breathing as we move through our practice today. Flooding the body with pranic energy, with breath. It's an amazing way to really stay centered in that parasympathetic nervous system, in that relaxation mode. Long, deep breaths. And then inhale both of those arms up to the sky. Reach for the opposite side. Left hand to the right, right arm out. Flooding the body with breath, flooding the body with joy. Think about things that are joyful to you. Picture the face of someone that just makes you smile, or a smell, or a taste. What brings you joy? What are the simple things that you can really feel grateful for all the time, anytime? Inhale your arms up overhead. With your arms remaining up, just begin to slowly rotate, narrow rotations of your torso around your pelvis. And then as you feel moved, make them a little wider and a little wider. So for me, a nice sip of hot tea is always something that makes me feel so good and so cozy. Let those circles get as big as you'd like. Right? So staying devoted to bringing my attention to what brings me joy. And then begin to narrow those circles again, moving in the same direction, just narrowing them, coming back to where you started. So you slowly come to stillness with your arms overhead. Take a deep inhale. Remember which way you rotated. Take a deep inhale. Let your arms float down to the floor. Let your fingertips touch the floor. Just pause for a moment and flip your palms up. Float your hands up overhead. Do that a few times, moving the energy. Beautiful wings. What is the wind under your wings? What is it that really motivates you in your life? What is your desire? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? Feel the wind under your wings. Trust the energy of your desires that will propel you into this world in that way when you allow yourself to connect to your joy. Next time your arms come up, stay up. And now begin those same circles, first narrow, but in the other direction. And if you forgot what direction you went in before, don't worry about it. Just go in any direction. It's funny, there was a time in my yoga practice where I was so rigid, especially when, with Kundalini yoga. And I finally learned, let them get wider and wider. I finally learned that nobody's head is going to fall off if we go to the right twice. Nothing's going to happen. So it's funny. I'll let you into this head of mine. Okay. So I was to Jai Dev. He's a beautiful Kundalini teacher often. And I would notice that sometimes when he would open, he would do Ad Gare Name. And instead of doing it 3 times, sometimes he'd do it 4 or 5, but he'd say he was doing it 3. And finally I got it because I've done that a couple of times. if my mind goes somewhere else, I don't remember whether I did it 2 or 3 times. So every once in a while, I want to ask you guys, was that 3 or 4? But I don't. So today was one of those days. Come back to narrow, narrow, narrow. So even that, my own silliness, until you come to a complete stop when you're ready. My own silliness brings me joy. The ability to be who I am and to not think that I have to be somebody when I'm sitting here teaching and somebody else when I'm with my family and somebody else when I'm with a client. The ability to just be me. Reach up through those palms. Turn your palms up as if you were trying to press into the sun. Imagine the sun being held right in the center of your palms. And then bring your palms together, back down to your heart, eyes closed. Take the cross of your legs and change so that you're crossing the other way. And just take a couple of breaths here. And then let your hands float down to your knees. And begin gentle neck rolls here, just rolling your neck to the right and to the left. You can keep your head maybe nice and centered, or you can really exaggerate the roll. See what feels good for your neck right now. So what do you want to become devoted to? Can you be devoted to joy? Can you be devoted to peace? What is devotion? Think about what devotion is. Right? Full attention, full commitment, faithfulness to something. So what does your mind do each day? Are you faithfully committed to feeding into fear? Are you faithfully committed to expressing joy? Or are you faithfully committed to allowing both to coexist and to not allowing anything to throw you off your center, to take you out of this present moment? That's a big order. Next time that your chin touches your chest, pause there. And then I'll go in the opposite direction. We're human, and as humans, we are meant to experience that whole range of emotions, all the polarities, happy and sad and fear and love, right? Grief and ecstasy, peace and discontent. If you're going to devote yourself to a particular emotion, why not make it joy? I mean, you can make it whatever you want to make it, but why not joy? Let's do a joy experiment this week. Can we seek out joy in every situation, in every conversation? Next time your chin comes to your chest, pause there. And then just rock your chin like you're drawing a smiley face from shoulder to shoulder a few times. And come back up to center and begin alternate shoulder rolls. So one shoulder forward and then the other. As you are pedaling a bicycle with your hands. You can go as fast or as slow as you would like. For me, when there's so much chaos in the world and there's so much fear and it just seems like there's so much sadness and uncertainty, when that happens, my mind tells me that I have to find a way to change that from the outside. I have to remind myself that nothing changes from the outside. Everything starts from the inside. When I try to change things, people, situations on the outside, it's like playing whack-a-mole, right? There's something that I'm having a hard time with. Come to stillness. Take your hands to your heart, palms against that heart center. And you're going to begin to open that right arm, bring it out to the right, really twist around, and then come back to center, left arm out, really twisting. So go nice and slow and twist open each time. right? Because when I'm so afraid or so focused on an emotion, if I think there's something that's broken and needs to be fixed, I'm so focused on it that the universe keeps popping that up in front of me so I can start to work on letting it go. When I start to make the change on the inside, when I start to really stoke the energy of what I want to see from the inside, then what happens is that I start to get opportunities. I see more opportunities to be joyous. And it's not to forget about the sadness. It's not to not feel it because it's so important to feel every emotion, but it's finding a balance. It's really choosing where my focus is going to be. My mind will jump right in there. If I'm afraid, my mind will jump right in there and say, yup, yup, be afraid, be afraid. And remember this, and don't forget this. And that can happen too. My mind is always trying to protect me, right? And then there's this neutral mind that just observes everything. It reminds me that my mind, my emotions, my reactions are like a blank slate, a palette that I get to create on every single day of my life. Sometimes there's things that have been imprinted on that palette for a long time and it feels like it's there permanently. But little by little, it's not. Little by little, it starts to move away as I replace it with other thoughts. Bring both of your hands to your heart. From here, you're going to start spinal flexors. You're going to open up, bring your arms out wide, and then you're going to round in and bring your hands back. So as if you were pumping your own heart. Close your eyes and feel the beat of your heart as you move forward and back. Giving that spine some love. Whatever you desire, seek it out. If you want some sunshine today, go stand outside in the rain and stare at that sky until you find that little tiny bit of sunshine poking out. You'll find it, I promise. Go look for it. Take a picture, send it to me. Whatever you want, all you need to do is seek it out with your devotion, with your thoughts, with your attention. It's there. And the next time your hands come in, pause there. Bring your body to center. Feel the beat of your heart for a moment. And then bring your legs out wide. Drop your hands. Bring your legs into a V. Place one hand on each thigh. And just start to slide your right hand down your right leg. And then come back to center. Left arm down, left leg. Close your eyes and find a rhythm. As you move to the right, twist your body to the right. As you move to the left, twist your body to the left. Try to keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. You guys look amazing. Notice the sensation of your hands as they move up and down your legs, giving yourself a little massage, giving yourself some gentle love. It's one of the things that during all this COVID stuff that I'm missing the most is the ability to, gather those hugs. There's things that I'm really starting to appreciate that I guess I took for granted because, we have this beautiful community and I was able to have all the hugs I wanted whenever I wanted. Right? So now I have to rely on that stockpile of love from all those hugs that I collected for all that time, right? So feeling the touch of your own hands on your own legs, appreciating that, finding the magic in that. The next time you come up, stay. Bend your right knee, bring the sole of your right foot into your thigh, left thigh. Inhale your arms up, and as you exhale, you're going to bring your left arm inside your left leg. Right arm over your ear, reaching toward those toes. A nice stretch here. Take one very long, deep breath. As you exhale, just start to rotate your arm, your left arm, your right arm around. Anyway, dance it around in any way that feels good. Get a nice range of motion. Maybe with your eyes closed, imagine light, color, rainbows just moving around you. Imagine your fingertips just grabbing a hold of the energy around you and just swinging it around, swaying it around, filling your entire auric field with the energy of balance, of peace, of creativity, of foundation, power, and love, pure, pure communication, intuition, of unity. And then bring that arm back to stillness. Reach back over your ear. Inhale both arms up to the sky. Bring your body upright. You're going to move toward that left foot as you twist your body toward that left foot. Drape down. Reach for those toes or that ankle, your knee, whatever works for you. Let your head come down towards your knee, any amount. Breathe. And then let your hands fall to either side of your ankle. And as you come up slowly, you're going to press your hands into your leg and give yourself a nice massage coming up. Dragging your hands along the inside of your leg, massaging, coming up. Then go down one more time. Noticing any places that might need a little extra attention, some gentleness over your knees. And then back up. Bring your right leg out so you're back in that V. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward any amount. And then bring your arms out wider also. Move your arms out towards your feet. Lots of breath here. And as you walk yourself up nice and slowly, you're going to bend the right knee, bring the right sole into the left thigh. And inhale those arms up to the sky. Oops, did I go on the wrong side? I did. So your right leg is extended and your left foot is in, like Margie has it. Thank you, Marge. Reach up, bring your hands down to your heart. Take a breath here. Then as you inhale back up, bring your right arm inside your right leg, left arm overhead, reaching for your toes. Nice long inhale. And as you exhale, begin that rotation of that arm now. Opening up your shoulder. Maybe imagine the energy of joy attached to your fingers, and spreading joy all around. Reminding yourself that it's okay to laugh. It's always okay to laugh. It's always okay to feel anything that you feel. It's just so important to not be carried away by the wave of energy that exists around us. Now bring that Left arm back over your ear, reaching towards your right toes. Inhale both arms up to the sky. Twist your body to the right, fall over that right leg. I'm going to read a quote from Swami Sankalpananda Saraswati. He says, "Man was meant to live in peace with himself, to be filled with a deep sense of joy, and to have a clear understanding of the purpose of life. And that purpose is to know the divine, to realize the divine, to be one with the divine, and to feel the presence of the divine in all things. This is man's natural and true nature. Realizing our true nature is the sole purpose of living this life, nothing more and nothing less. What we must aspire to do is awaken and utilize our innermost potentials to their infinite capacity to live life to the fullest. Man was meant to live in peace with himself and to be filled with a deep sense of joy." Begin now to come up, massaging that leg on the way up. And once you get up, journeying down again. And then back up. And then bring both legs out wide. Place one hand on each thigh and begin that back and forth where we started, sliding down one leg and then the other. As you bring yourself back to center, come into easy sitting pose. We're going to do a short meditation. If you'd like to place a blanket underneath you, feel free to do that. So I'm talking about feeling joy, connecting to joy. And sometimes, though, that we feel that we're on such high alert that it's hard to connect to joy, right? We feel all these threats around us. We feel all this energy. And so this is a meditation to lessen the impact of energy that feels threatening. It makes us feel like we're not safe. It's called the synchronization meditation. And it's a Kundalini tradition. It's very simple. You're going to hold your arms up like this. Palms are going to be out. And we're going to use Satanama. And we're going to use it the way that most of us are used to. Kirtan Kriya Sa, thumb and forefinger, Ta, middle, Na, ring, Ma, pinky. So we're going to do that 4 times on one breath. The breath is going to be held out. So it's going to look like this. Your eyes will be closed. You don't have to close them yet. You're going to inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out. Satanama to yourself 4 times with the breath out. Then inhale. Exhale completely. Again. And just keep going. Does that make sense? Everybody good? Yeah. All right. Close your eyes and we'll begin 3 minutes. If at any time you feel dizzy, just pause and breathe naturally and then start again. If your arms get really tired, you can bring them down to your knees and then bring them back up when you're ready. And I am going to be quiet for 3 minutes as you do this. After the next round, when you're ready, let your hands float down to your knees and return to your natural breath, eyes closed. Just let the effects, the meditation wash over you. It's a meditation that brings out the warrior soul in you, that reminds you that your safety is not dependent on anything from the outside, that your safety rises up from the inside, your courage rises up from the inside. Creating space to flow that conscious devotion to joy. Moving out the energy of fear. Take another breath here. And then come on to your hands and knees. And once you get there, do some nice deep hip circles. Move in both directions. Bring yourself to stillness. Bring your hands so that your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Find your ideal firm foundation, and then inhale your right hand up, your left foot behind you, stretching out from the heel, from those fingertips. Engage your core, find your balance. Then you can reach that right hand back if you'd like for your left ankle, opening up your heart, or stay right where you are. Remember to breathe as you balance. For some reason, we tend to hold our breath when we're balancing. Breathe. And then release the ankle if you're holding it. Bring everything straight out. And then gently back to the mat. Moving consciously to the other side. Left hand comes out. Right foot goes up and back. Stretching, engaging, letting your neck be an extension of your spine. Reach back for that ankle if you'd like. Opening up. Long, deep breath. And then releasing, extending everything out. Back down to the mat. Bring your big toes together, your knees nice and wide. Sit back on your heels and melt forward into child's pose. When we become devoted to joy and to peace, we can actually begin to hear people better, differently. Right? When I approach the world with a smile on my face, somehow all the defenses kind of melt away and people appear to me to be more open, but it's really me that's more open. Come onto your fingertips, walk your body over to the right. When you get there, you can bring your left hand on to your right hand for a little bit more of a stretch if you'd like. Breathe into your side body. Breathe into your back body. Send pranic energy through your breath all the way down to your toes. Walk back to center. And come back to the other side, all the way to the left. So joy, peace, those emotions allow us to open to other possibilities, to open to solutions, to be less rigid, to loosen up, lighten up, come back to center. Walk yourself back into tabletop. And once you get there, curl your toes, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a nice stretch. Get onto our feet for a couple of minutes here. Slowly begin to walk your feet towards your hands. Pause for a moment in Uttanasana. Maybe even bend your knees nice and deeply. Move your body in any way that helps you find freedom. And bending your knees a lot, inhale your arms forward as if you were reaching for something across from you. Pause there for a moment. And then come halfway up. Pause there. And rise all the way up to stand. Reach up to the sky. Come onto your tippy toes. And then rock onto your heels. And one more time. Tippy toes and heels. And let your hands come down to your heart. Pause and feel. Thanks, Marge. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And then turn to the side of your mat so that you're standing facing one of the wide edges of your mat. Bring your legs nice and wide apart. Turn your toes out slightly. Place your hands on your hips. And do some hip circles here, keeping your balance, circling those hips around. I think it's Jackie that always says, like you're scraping the peanut butter from the jar with a spoon. Really get into those hips. And then move in the other direction. You guys look amazing. Come to stillness. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, right hand to left ankle. Left arm up to the sky. Come back up. Move to the other side. And flow that way a few times. Going at whatever pace feels like yours today. You can go quickly, you can go slowly. The next time you come up, keep your arms out to a T. Begin to move your palms so that they're facing up. Bring your hands together overhead in prayer and then flip the palms out. Come back to that T. Flip them again and just keep moving up and down. Beautiful wings. Moving the energy. Maybe consciously noticing any energy around you that feels heavier, that could use the interweaving of some joy. And as you move through your own energy, again, bring your mind to something that brings you so much joy. Be a person, a place, a thing. It could just be this breath that you're given, the grace of this animation of this body, your ability to show up in this world. Whatever it is, bring it in. Infuse your auric field with that energy. And then let your hands come down to your sides. Just pause here. Bring your hands back onto your hips and begin to bend into one knee and then the other. Just moving from side to side. Maybe even bringing your legs a little wider if that would feel good. I love this pose. This is called Skandasana. It's skater's pose. And I love the opening. Moving back and forth, finding that width, that space. And then come to stillness. Step your feet together. Come back to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Dive all the way down, planting your hands. Step your right foot back, your left to meet it. Stretch one more time in downward facing dog. And then lower your knees to the mat. And come to stand on your knees. Inhale your arms out to the sides and all the way up. Bring them to prayer overhead. Bring that prayer through your body. And as your hands come down, lower your seat onto your heels. Inhale your arms out wide. Raise up off of those heels, palms overhead, and keep flowing like that. Lowering down. And then allowing your own wings to raise you up. Just keep going. Close your eyes if you'd like, or don't. Next time you bring your hands to your heart, stay standing on your knees. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, step your right foot out to the right. Inhale your arms up overhead. And then exhale your right hand so that it floats down your right leg. Yep, left arm overhead. Moving into gate pose. Breathe in balance. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, left hand down toward the floor. Right arm overhead. Come back to center. Arms overhead. Prayer to your heart. Bring your right foot in. And switch sides. Left leg comes out. Arms up to the sky. And as you lower, letting your left hand float down your left leg, right arm reaching over the ear. Inhaling back up, right hand to the floor, left arm over your ear. You guys look absolutely amazing. You're like floating through this. I love it. Back up to center. Palms together overhead, hands to your heart. Bring your left knee in. Lower back into tabletop. Take a few hip rolls here. And then make your way, when you're ready, to stillness and to your back. Margie, I'm making you work way too hard here. And then once you get there, bend your knees, plant your feet, bring your arms down to your sides. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Circle your ankle. And then let your right leg float out to the right. You can use your right hand to support the outside thigh if you'd like. Bring it back up. Bend the knee, right sole to the mat. Left foot up toward the sky. Circle that ankle. And then let it move out to the left. Relaxing your lower back, relaxing your shoulders. Bring it back up. Bending that knee, planting. Bring the heels as close to your butt as you can. Letting your arms rest at your sides. Take a deep inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Bring your hips up, coming into a flowing bridge. Exhale, hands down, hips down. Flow 3 times. And on the 3rd time, you're going to remain with your arms overhead, your hips up to the sky. When you find yourself in that pause, just check to make sure that your chest is moving towards your chin, that your chin is not moving towards your chest, finding space there. Letting those hips rise up, take a breath. And then gently lower everything down. Knees into your chest. Place one hand on each knee. Begin to rotate your knees away from and then toward each other. Nice big circles here. Yeah. And then the other direction. And come to stillness. Squeeze your nose up towards your knees. Relax back down. Bring your arms out to a T. Let your knees float over to the right, your gaze to the left. Rest here for a moment. Can you devote your week to seeking out joy? Can you give yourself permission to smile in the midst of tears? Can you join in someone else's joy? Can you allow the contagious energy of laughter to be something that you seek out this week? You find a reason to smile, even when things aren't going your way. Come back to center. And then move to the other side. Long, deep breath. Can you say to the world, I will define the current state of the world around me instead of allowing it to define me? Can you shout that from your own rooftop, your own heart? Come back to center. Let your feet move up toward the sky. And then slowly lower to the mat. Taking any last stretches or twists before settling yourself into Shavasana. Before you slip into your deep, well-deserved rest, everybody for a moment just hold the happy birthday energy for Jen. To play that beautiful song on this day, but it's not part of my yogi iTunes. And let yourself drift off into Shavasana. We can let the circumstances of life harden us so that we become increasingly resentful and afraid. Or we can let them soften us and make us kinder and more open. We always have this choice. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Begin to bring movement to your fingers, your toes, your wrists, and your ankles. Gently move your knees into your chest if you're lying down. Rock from side to side. If you're seated, take a nice twist. Then bring the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet together, create fire. As you return to stillness, either rock over to your right side or rock up and down on your spine. And we'll all meet together, palms together, our heart center, eyes closed. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice with a long Satnam. Deep, deep inhale. Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own amazingness. Be loved, believe, be true to you. Satnam, everybody.